I had never thought about, and again, I don't remember which colleague mentioned this, but I never thought about this idea of team assessment and lab assessment, but it actually makes so much sense that I think it's a must, is to understand, and I guess it could be some sort of mixed methods where you evaluate the team and then maybe the within the team there's some sort of evaluation of, contributions, because that's always a challenge when there's, a lot of people working on one project and one study. So I really like that idea, about, especially as funders push to see kind of impact and seeing where that leads, bring that back into the assessment ability. So it's not necessarily just did you get that grant or did you not get that grant, but what did you actually do with the project retrospectively. We're very much, it's science is a funny thing that by the time we actually publish whatever it is, we're already one or two studies ahead. So A is I always find that scientists don't find the time to celebrate their accomplishments. But more importantly, I think it maybe isn't taken into account assessment wise. It's like, well, you already got that NIH grant. So, well, that's great, right? So we now get the next grant. And it's like, well, what did you do with that grant, right? And how did it change? How did it impact people? And what were the, and again, not just how many articles did you manage to squeeze out, right? Or did you manage to rewrite in order to get, higher impact factor, but rather how, what were kind of the scientific conclusions? Shay, but there are some Nobel Prize winners who say, I'd never be able to be successful in today's day and age if I was assessed by, the current factors, simply because, they need to spend time to think. Ideas need to simmer, need to come about slowly. So the way I would, like to see moving forward is that we put more of an emphasis on quality rather than quantity, and that quality is evaluated in a much more kind of multifaceted way than the current impact factor or H factor or whatever it is, which really boils down into it does try to take different components into account, but in the end, as we like to say, you don't want to make the measurement the goal in and of itself. And I feel like that is come full circle when it comes to academic evaluation, is that as researchers, you come into your PhD with a lot of motivation and excitement, and you quickly learn the rules of the game. And if you're not into the rules of the game, and the rules of the game often, again, dictate where it is that you're going to go with your research, as opposed to curiosity and, what, again, the basics of the scientific endeavor.